So we believe that these tax rates are basically to benefit the common man, simplify the procedures of GST and facilitate the small dealers, and now we will have 93% of the dealers filing returns quarterly. Now, this whole facilitation, we expect that should result into better compliance, and even the reduction of tax rate should result into better compliance. So we have felt comfortable in last 1 year with the trajectory of growth in the GST revenues, and with the e-way bill now bringing in results in the coming months. So we felt that the target of the GST revenue is now well within the range, and this is the time to experiment, this is time to facilitate, this is the time to also take care of the other parameters of the economy of the country, that is not only revenue but also the employment generation and facilitation of doing business and manufacturing in the country.
So, but what was the estimate that was given to you by the tax research unit as to how much impact would all these rate items, like big ticket items like paints, will have when you reduce GST on them?
I won't be able to go into the specifics of each of those industry, but yes, the revenue implication in the major items could potentially lead to 6,000 plus crore rupees. But at the same time, there was a general consensus in the GST Council, represented by Centre as well as state ministers and officers, that this tax rate cut or this revenue loss can be potentially compensated by the revenue buoyancy, the tax buoyancy that we can expect due to better compliance and easy procedures.
Okay, and sir, you've also exempted a few items like sanitary napkins. So do you think this will break the credit chain, like the manufacturers will not be able to avail input tax credit on these items, and then would this potentially lower the prices of sanitary napkins or other items that have been exempt now?
See, this decision has been taken very consciously by the GST Council, that we have to exempt a very, very important aspect of the women's life, and we must exempt it from the GST as such. And I think it's to be taken in the same spirit. And the manufacturers of sanitary napkins will also take this positively and will try to pass on. They must pass on the impact of the reduction in the tax rate to the consumers, and this will help the women and the girls a great deal.
But will there be a reduction in prices, because since they won't be able to claim credit on the inputs on which they're already paying taxes, so how will they pass on the benefit that they're going to get to consumers, since there won't be any benefit as it looks like?
No, we have reasons to assume that ultimately it will still benefit the consumer. And whatever impact of the input tax credit is there, that is well absorbable by the manufacturers themselves. At the same time, it's a major reduction, and the benefit must go to the consumers.
And sir, you like you also said, some of these taxpayers will now be able to pay tax monthly, but they'll have to file their returns quarterly. So wouldn't this distort or make it difficult for them to avail input tax credit, since they'll be paying their taxes monthly, but they won't be filing their returns monthly and would file their returns only once in a quarter?
See, first of all, today in principle decision has been taken. GST will be working out the modalities how to roll it out. At the same time, the facility of filing the returns on quarterly basis to 93% of the dealers is a voluntary. If they want to file the returns early, they can. If they want to do the invoice matching early, they can. So I'm sure the procedures within the business will also work out in future, and such issues would not be a problem. The whole idea was to make the dealers, the small traders, feel that the GST procedures are simpler, and it is very easily they can comply with the requirements of GST.
And so, like you said, there'll be 93% of taxpayers who'll be getting this benefit. So, how much do these? Is there an estimate available as to how much do these 93% of taxpayers actually pay tax to the government? Is there an estimate, rough estimate available as to how much do they contribute in terms of entire revenues?
I don't remember offhand. Yes, there was a presentation made, and but at the same time, responding to your question, you talked about the potential revenue distortion. I don't think that should happen, because the tax has to be paid monthly in any case.
Okay. And sir, and my last question was there a discussion on agricultural cess as well, a 1% agricultural cess that can be imposed on certain items?
I don't think this was discussed today.
Okay.